So I chose to do my nonverbal signs of communication based on the movie The Lion King. And I split mine just into each character and where I see them showing nonverbal signs of communication. So the first character I did or wrote about was Simba. And in the very beginning of the movie, the first signs of nonverbal communication you will see from him is he shows excitement. When he is playing with Nala, he opens his eyes are wide and he leaves his mouth open a lot to show that he is excited. And then when Simba went where he was not supposed to go at the beginning of the movie, he showed sadness and remorseful to his father by like slouching his shoulders and acting like he was regretful for it. And then when Scar leaves Simba in the canyon, he acts mad, and Scar doesn't know how to keep him there because he wanted to go find his dad with Scar. And so Scar says that everybody knows he went into the hyena's den, and so he shows embarrassment by putting his eyes and his head down and looking at the ground. He shows fear when the wildebeest start trampling through the canyon by pretty much running around in circles, and you can see his eyes constantly moving, looking for an escape or somewhere to either stay and hide safely or get out of the canyon. And he will also show emotion when his father dies by crying, and he lays his head down on his dad. And then so the main emotions for him you see are joy, fear, and sadness. And then Mufasa, who is Simba's dad, and the king, he shows that his authority by having a really strong posture and a strong stance. He shows his disappointment in Simba when he is sighing and then he shakes his head. And that was when Simba went where he was not supposed to go. He shows fear for Simba when Simba was in the canyon and Mufasa runs into the canyon to try to save him. And you see him non-verbally trying to do this by he is moving quickly and he is constantly searching for where Simba is. The next one that I did was the hyenas. And the hyenas, the first sign of nonverbal communication I saw from them was they were anxious when Mufasa approached them. They show this by quivering their teeth and shaking their bodies. And they also slouch their shoulders and act inferior to the king. And then when Scar approaches them to tell his plan on taking over the area, they show obedience by sitting up to him, having good posture, saluting him, and then they all march for him. So those would all be showing obedience to Scar. And then Scar uses nonverbal language with the hyenas to attack the wildebeest. He just used a nonverbal signal for them. And then Scar shows jealousy of Mufasa and Simba for the fact that they have a higher position in the kingdom than he does. And he shows this by acting standoffish, and you see this when he turns away from them or doesn't really listen to them, and he's just in his own world. Scar shows jealousy along with hatred and evilness when he throws Mufasa off the cliff. He throws Mufasa off the cliff and he says, "Long live the king," and then he sits there for a minute and you can just see in his eyes and his face that he's not right, and that is why I said evil and hatred. And then throughout the movie you'll see him with sly smiles and he'll narrow his eyes, which just seems really deceiving and would, to somebody who's analyzing the movie, obviously think that he is untrustworthy. And then Scar has to instill fear into a lot of people so that he can establish dominance. And you see this a lot with the hyenas when he's establishing dominance, but then you'll see it in other parts of the movies too, and he'll slap his paw on the ground or do other actions like that, whereas Mufasa immediately had the respect. He had to demand it or show them that he deserved it.